Welcome back to Popcorn and Beer. You got your butter on top, the long walk, and of course, your drunk classic, No Escape. Let's go. And we are back to Garfield Owner's dog's favorite movie podcast. That's right. We got Odie. Odie's favorite movie podcast is Popcorn and Beers. I asked Jeff Davis. He said, absolutely. This is Odie's favorite podcast.
Jim.
Anyway, we had a Stephen King butter on top before spooky season, and it wasn't exactly a spooky movie. So we're going to start, of course, with our butter on top this week. But before we get going, remember the saying where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use the stuff that gets you drunk. That was my little homage to The Rock as he got a 15-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival for The Smashing Machine, coming out October 2nd.
Yeah, I'm excited
as we
for
get
that
into this. What's that?
She's like, no, now I'm all sticky.
It's water. We're fine. I just smell floral now. Yeah, I'm excited for that Smashing Machine. It looks like Rock is really trying to act. I can't wait.
Man. Did you see the makeup?
Good.
Have you seen the trailers yet?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's transformed for sure. But you can do whatever you want to your voice inflection. I mean, you're still The Rock. I mean,
I think
the makeup is crazy to me. The makeup on his face and that is
definitely.
It's just.
Do you think
insane.
he gets an Oscar nod for that one?
I think he's acting alongside Ryan Bader. Like every time I see that trailer, is that Ryan Bader? That's the other fighter.
I think so. And
That's
then like
crazy.
Vladimir Klitschko's in it. I'm not Klitschko. The other guy.
Fedor
the boxer.
Emelianenko.
No, the boxer that's beating everybody up right now.
Tank Abbott.
Usyk.
Yeah. Usyk.
Jordan, since you so graciously already in our chat decided to start giving us a partial review of The Long Walk, I'm going to let you lead it off. But I do agree with you. We'll say it there. That way when it gets to me, they kind of know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, this is a Popcorn and 3 movie, guys.
Ooh.
This is a Popcorn and 3 movie. Halfway through it, I was like, this is a Popcorn and 3 movie, I think. And it definitely landed the plane for sure on this one. It's pretty cut and dry from what you see in the trailer. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like I had really high expectations going into this. And it just, I was not let down for a single moment. The premise is great. It's very Stand By Me meets The Hunger Games, right?
Yeah.
Lots
of Stand By Me. Lots of Stand By Me in here.
Yeah. It's a very broy, sentimental movie. It's got and it's only an hour and 45 minutes. They cram in these well-developed characters, backstory. Acting is fantastic. The score is fantastic. It's just, I don't know. It's a great movie. I would watch, and it's very rewatchable, I feel like, because there's so much, the dialogue, it was so rich that you could go back and watch it and find something in the dialogue to like, oh, wow, yeah, that you didn't quite get the time to like mull over in it.
Yeah.
The things that just like these little things I nitpicked out of it were the guy talking about like some people crap once a week. Me, I'm an everyday man. I'm like, every day?
Wait, you don't crap every day?
No. I mean, like once a week, like every day. Some people crap twice a day.
But you gotta think, Jordan, think about the world they're living in. Think about they're living in a post-apocalyptic world, which I'm going to get into later, where people probably aren't eating all the time, or eating the best food.
Yeah. And, the whole find the light thing. Find the light. And he's like, yeah, man, you find the light and everything. And he's like, I can't do that. He's like, you think this shit is easy? Like, you got to work to be this kind of, to live this kind of lifestyle, think this way about things. It's just little nuggets like that, man. It was a beautiful movie mixed with just a very ugly look analysis of society and America and all these things, right?
Mhm.
Popcorn 3. I can't say enough about it.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've been recommending this to everybody I've come across. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Phenomenal piece of literature turned into a movie. It was amazing, and I didn't even know it was a Stephen King until like the trailer started rolling, you know, and then I saw, oh, it's a Stephen King book. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then they throw some things in there that cause this war, and it's the Civil War that caused the Long Walk to become a thing, because the Civil War cripples the United States of America in the movie. And I'm not spoiling anything. That's where we start. That's where the movie literally starts,
Mhm.
Yeah.
financially, because you don't realize how much, especially certain areas of the United States, how much they rely on areas they may not agree with to fund their entire way of life, sometimes their entire state.
Yeah.
And if you really pay attention and you're not choosing to put up your blinders, then you would know that. And it kind of gets into what can happen then when you decide to go to war with these things. Like, it can cripple an entire economy, even if that economy was previously strong. And it discusses how that will for, and we even have a character in this that displays these traits. A willful ignorance can lead to almost an unconscious hypocrisy, that
Mhm.
you're really just looking for things that only validate the way you want to think or the way you want to look at something. And this movie really explores those themes, like, very heavily. It looks into those themes. And I mean, we saw it as recently as this past week, how people will put up the blinders simply to try to, oh God, give themselves some type of clarity or justification for worshiping something that is unjust or does not deserve any form of worship. So this movie goes into that, and it also goes into not just the mental tax that can come, as Jordan said, with trying to be that positive person, but the mental tax that could come with finally realizing, like, it is your fault this happened. Like, this happened because of you. And that is a theme that I didn't think was going to get drugged through the whole movie, and I didn't think that theme was going to abruptly end the way it does in this movie, but it does. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
okay, I see what they did with this character and I respect it. Like, that was a great arc for that specific character, and they told the story without being too incredibly disrespectful, while hopefully, even though I don't think they will, getting people to be more introspective in the way they view certain things, especially things that may be your fault. Now,
Mhm.
it got,
Mhm.
now let's get into the nitty gritty of this movie. It covers, I was worried because a lot of things in a lot of movies like this get kind of swept under the rug. This movie covers every single thing that could possibly happen to you while walking well over 300 miles. You
Mhm.
Wow.
are, it goes over, it covers what might happen if you have an allergy. It goes over what might happen if you roll your ankle. It goes over what might happen if you have to shit. It goes over what might happen if you have to sleep. It goes over what might happen if you have to piss. It goes over what happens if you miss too much sleep. It covers literally, like, I was like, okay, I can't punch a hole in this. It covered
Wow.
every possible plot hole
Mhm.
that I could think of. So illness, allergies, it
Yeah.
covered
Your
every.
shoes get wet. Your shoes
Yeah,
get wet.
yes. Your,
Wow.
your shoe breaks. If your shoe
Shoe
break,
breaks.
like,
Yeah.
literally, how to block the sun in certain areas. It covered everything I could think of.
Yeah. A hill. What if you encounter a hill?
Yeah. What if it's interesting the way
Yeah.
they
Do you
do
think?
that. And it can be graphic at times. And I think that if not for the graphic nature of this movie, and it is graphic, it's in your face with the violence, this would be a movie that fathers would show their sons, kind of like fathers showed their sons, like, Stand By Me. It would
Mhm.
be like that. I don't think you can in the way this movie was shot, but
Well,
the
at
the
least
the themes here and the storylines and the characters all translate to what you would want your kid to grow up and understand and feel like. And you want a movie, something like this. Remember how our fathers used to use movie themes to, like, explain us certain things about life? Like, they'd use a
Yeah.
movie and then explain how it works in life. Like, this
Mhm.
Yeah.
would be that film if not for the gratuitous violence. Uh, it also covers the ignorance that can be caused by the banning of books. It could be the ignorance that can be caused by the banning of music and art within our culture. And it's very interesting that they cover that as we literally watch half the population vote away their rights, not realizing that they're voting away their freedoms. Very interesting to see that they cover that in this movie. It's a popcorn and three. I I was in. Like I from the beginning, like I wanted to poke fun at the main character, but then he's so damn likable. It was hard. It was hard because, like, literally the first thing I saw, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, "That dude ain't making it 300 miles, not with that body." Like, it's rude. I body shamed. I apologize. I'm being honest. I'm putting my hand up. I did
Well,
it.
he
And I was
acknowledges it in the
wrong.
movie too. Like right away. Right away they acknowledge that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the big guys tire first, but something, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So, I loved it. Popcorn and three. Go ahead, Jordan.
it's graphic, yes, but at least for I'd say like 75 to 80% of the violent scenes that happen, the graphic scenes, there's a clear warning before it
Yeah.
happens. So it's like, oh, cover your eyes.
Oh,
What did you think of Mark Hamill?
He's the commander, right? The chief or
Major.
whatever the hell. The major, yes, major. He was great. Actually, honestly, I knew he was in the movie, but I forgot he was in the movie when I was watching the movie. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like I was like, I had heard he was in it, so I didn't realize it was him. So that's how good he was.
Mhm. Oh man, gut
He's a
wrenching
scumbag.
scene. No spoilies. Mother and son relationships. Mother and son.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, God, I feel it. And then best friends too. The best friends aspect of it, like you said, it's a bro, it's a big bro movie, and the aspects of it. I caution Josh, go into it with everything we're telling you because you have a lot of bromances. So so
not
go into
gay,
it
bro.
with that level of clarity about what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Let's get to No Escape. Popcorn and three. Go watch The Long Walk.
Yes. Do it.
Let's get to No Escape. Josh, you had never seen No Escape, right?
I ain't never seen no Escape.
Okay, so
I didn't
Jordan and I
know
have
what I
both
was
seen
getting
No
into.
Escape, so I'm interested in what you have to say.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was getting into. You said the only thing I had was the synopsis you briefly gave, Jordan, where he's just always running away.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
this made me surprisingly retroactively nostalgic. Speaking of bromances, I had a really, really good friend. He's passed on now, but what we used to do is we used to get really high and we used to go to the movies. And this is the kind of movie that we would love to see back in those days, where shit just pops off and it's like, hey, what? And it's just adrenaline pumping. And you know what? Kind of a slow start, but not so slow that I was getting bored. It was just like, okay, where are we going with this? But then when the moment happens, when he looks down this way and he looks down that way, I'm like, holy shit. And then it starts and he's like, okay. And he gets up there and he's like, we gotta get it out of here. Man, it was fun. It was the whole time I was having fun. Yeah. And every time you get a moment where you think you're catching your breath, someone gets their head chopped off or something. You're like, oh God, we gotta get out of here. And oh man. But I really appreciated Owen Wilson's believability. I really appreciated the family in general. I appreciated that the wife wasn't a wuss. Like, she had her moments where she saves the day, she saves the family, she steps up. Even the small part where she calms him down from a panic attack. Like all those little bits, like it was very real. And before everything happened, where she's like, I can't comfort you right now. Like, all that was good too. Like, it was very...
That's such a good, even though... Like they didn't have to use any words and the director knew it. And it was just that it hit exactly the way it was supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I've never even heard of this movie. And I guess it's not an Oscar nom movie, but it's a great popcorn movie. I give it a popcorn and 1, maybe 2. It's a popcorn and 1. Man, it's good. I love the way Pierce Brosnan was at the end of the movie. Like, that was G as F, dude. Like,
yeah. Is that what we were eating? well, do you want your kids to know what they're actually eating? You need your
Yeah.
energy, man. You gotta,
And the
you
message
gotta
is
go.
good. It reminded me of Quantum of Solace. You guys seen that James Bond?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
like, and strangely, like all the other bad guys in James Bond are going for world domination or whatever, and this one just wants to control the water of a country. But I looked it up, and it's not the same time period. They're like 5 years off or so. But yeah, water was a big talking point in the late 2010s or whatever. So the whole thing was about water. But yeah, it was brutal. It was quick. It was dirty. I liked every bit of it. Popcorn one for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved this movie, and when Jordan said it again, I had forgotten about it. But this is a movie I watched it on. It was on Netflix, and I think it came out around the time of Myanmar, and I think that's why I think it got pushed. Now, time check me if I'm wrong, but I think it came out around that time, and I think that's why it never made it to the theaters. I
I think
think
it's
like they did
16,
not
and I think you're right.
somewhere around that time frame, and that's the only way I could describe it because this is a theater movie. Like this movie is a theater movie to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And I
saying.
saw it on Netflix. And the first thing I did was I told my dad, I was like, dude, you got to watch this movie with Owen Wilson, Pierce Brosnan. And he watched it and he was like, that movie was great. And I was like, I told you, movie is it's fully loaded. So I'll just do a couple things because Josh touched on a few. How about Pierce Brosnan right off the airplane? The women here are amazing. So eager to please. Right in front of Owen Wilson's wife and his 2 daughters. Like just right there in the airport. You
Passport,
gotta
bro.
like what's that?
Passport, bro.
Yeah. Then you got Kenny Loggins. Do you like Kenny
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 Rogers.
Rogers. Kenny
yeah.
Rogers.
Is it Kenny Rogers?
Yeah.
The blood for water thing, I've seen a few documentaries on this. This is not just going on in Asian countries. This is also happening in African countries right now. And you could see how this is going to lead to once we're through with whatever BS we're going through right now,
Oh
water
yeah.
is the next frontier, whether people realize it or not.
Oh yeah.
Fresh
Like
water.
I've seen a lot of things about it, and there a lot of theoreticians, theorists.
Mhm.
They think the next major, maybe world-ending war will be about water.
Well, it's going on with Coca-Cola in Mexico as well. So I mean,
And
like it's
Nestle?
closer than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not just American companies. It's also French companies. There's Dutch companies. There's English company. Like this is, God, I'm gonna sound. I don't mean to sound like an imperialist thing. that's that's going on
Really?
where they are literally jacking water. In fact, if you watch some of the documentaries, I think one was Rotten. Like Mexico City has sank like 2 inches or 3 inches into the ground because they've taken so much water from the aquifers. Not to mention, it's one of the most heavily populated cities on Earth. So it's just like they're gonna run out of water. Is basically what people are saying. Like Mexico City will run out of water. Um, the movie though, back to the movie, everything that you see is it's not like, oh, we're gonna save the world on a F-16. It's like in your face machete, like pistols from World War II, like whatever they could get their hands on, and they are holding people accountable. And Pierce Brosnan has a line like Josh said, everything he said was on point, where he's like, they're defending their kids just like you're defending your kids running away right now. He's like, that's what they see that they're doing. They're not killing you to kill you. They're killing you to protect their families, like you're killing them to protect your family.
Yeah.
And it was just delivered so well. The movie is fantastic. I highly recommend it as an action film. Just if you want to get soaked in action and like Josh said, like what the fuck, like like immediately, like this is the movie for you. So grading it on that scale, I'm gonna give it a popcorn 2 because you will not be disappointed if that's what you're looking for and you flip on this movie. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah. There's nothing necessarily unbelievable about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Casio on top of the grand piano, and he's like, yeah, that was great. That's a great scene. There's a lot of like those funny little like, oh, like that the bold announcement, like, yeah, you're in a third world country now, buddy, or whatever she says. Oh, fifth world now. The rice
Yeah.
cooker, all that good stuff. But the scene of this movie is the rooftop, the throwing of the kids across the roof. Like that is And it happens early on, unfortunately, but like that is the peak of the tension of this movie, I think, right there. And it's just like, would
He
you be able to
ties
do
his
that?
daughter's arms with the belt to keep her from natural reacting and
Yeah.
grabbing his neck. And I was like, I forgot about that. But in my head, I was like, that's smart. Like, that's a really
Yeah.
smart move.
Yeah. That oh my god, that gave me the creeps. And then I love the ending, the whole like, trying to get to Vietnam. And I don't know why, immediately popped in my head as they're, you know, sailing on the boat on their way. At the Billy Madison scene where the guy, the assassin guy crosses off his name's like, thank God I called that guy. Like just an American fleeing to Vietnam for safety. Like I don't know.
Well, that's okay. That's one unbelievable thing was, why are the Vietnamese speaking English?
No,
Maybe.
They're heavy British. British has heavy influence in Vietnam.
French.
British too, Josh. It can be both.
Okay.
It's pretty clear English though. Just
like they're speaking. It's not so much that they're like not. I'm not saying like where's your accent. I'm saying like why are they speaking English at the Malaysians?
That's fair.
Laotian?
Yeah, as they cross over into into Vietnam.
Yeah,
but whatever.
But yeah, I agree with Josh. So this is a popcorn in one movie. It's a fun, quick, bang bang, lots of tension. Cool
Wonderful.
movie. Yeah, good movie. So popcorn in one. You guys covered it pretty well.
I said in my notes, this movie is absolutely terrifying for anyone that loves to travel to resorts. If you are a resort traveler,
like you're not gonna go to Jamaica after this, bud.
Yeah, this
is
and Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah, this one gets you, like, especially if you have a family, man. Whew. Let's get to what we were watching this week. I'm gonna rattle off a few here for you guys because I know that I'm kind of the bulk of it this week. So I watched Spike Lee joint, new movie on Apple TV, Highest to Lowest. And I started to see the cast, and I was like, oh, okay, Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, directed by Spike Lee. This is probably going to be a really good movie. I was wrong. Apple TV slid this one under the radar for very, very good reasons, because it is terrible. Denzel Washington plays a talent manager, record company owner, okay, that starts off as like the golden ear. He hears talent and he built this empire of music based on how he's able to discover these great musicians before anyone else can. And now he's at retirement age, where he's at a crossroads. Should he sell his company or should he buy it and privatize it again? Should he buy controlling shares and privatize it again? And I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. Not where the movie goes, because his son's gonna get kidnapped out of nowhere. His son's now being kidnapped, and then a couple minutes later, but wait, maybe that's not exactly what happened. We don't know. We're not going to spoil it, but maybe something else happened. Let's keep it a mystery. But while we do this, we're going to play terrible music, and we're going to play we're just going to have scores that happen during scenes that make logically no sense, that make the viewer sit back and go, why did they choose this for a chase scene? Like, this makes no, you're going to play like somebody walking in Downtown Abbey while they're chasing people? What the hell is going on here? In between there, mixed in there, just picture really, really terrible acting. Just awful from people that you would never expect to have acting. And now
terrible
writing. Denzel
writing.
has a few. Go ahead, Jordan.
Probably it's got to be a lot of terrible writing, right?
Maybe. Denzel does have a few clunkers, man. We can go through his filmography and be like,
yeah.
Oh, when you make 300 movies, I mean,
yeah, he has a few. You got The Man on Fire. You got
Man on Fire's great. Why do you think that movie sucks? It's one of the greatest movies ever.
One of the best movies.
I wouldn't say that, but it's a good movie.
Man on Fire is incredible.
It's okay. You can have it. What about Deja Vu? Are you a big Deja Vu guy?
No.
No. no.
So he's got a few. What's funny is, Josh, you every time that I watch or think about American Gangster, I think about how often you quoted it whenever we spilled beer on your floor. You'd yell out, "You gotta block that
Block that
shit."
shit. That's alpaca.
All right. So I'm just gonna tell you that it's a brand new movie. It's free on Apple TV. It's not good. It's really bad. I mean, and the scene where they find out their son's been kidnapped it's a lot. You're just like, dude, lady, relax. Like, okay, your son's been kidnapped, and I think you need a chill pill. That's how overplayed you're doing this.
Oh wow.
It was just so much. It was so
That sucks.
bad, and I felt
I
so
was
bad.
excited to see this.
Yeah, I think I still might watch it, honestly.
It's rough. It's going to be a Razzie nominee, I think. Do they still do the
No.
Razzies?
I think so, but it's like it's a casual mention on Twitter that just, it's here and gone.
Okay, so yeah, this one's going to be up for some Razzies. We're going to give this one a popcorn. Next thing I watched Captain America: The First Avenger, and I'm just going to be really brief here. This movie did not get the play it deserved. It's a great movie with pardon me. It's a movie with great message, and it has some downsides. They tried too hard to pull off the visual technology that was not where they were filming it. They leaned too far into the 3D technology that was out at the time, and it takes away from some really great action sequences, especially when you're watching it in 2D and you're watching it back. I was like, oh, if they didn't try to shoot this in 3D,
oh wow. Like
this
what?
movie
Like they
would
had
be
like the shield coming at you or what?
yeah, you could see in 2D where that like they really enhanced it for 3D. If you were watching it in 3D, yeah, like the shield, the explosion, the glass would go everywhere. But the problem is it feels like it's almost in a different definition than a lot of the rest of the movie, if that makes sense. So you kind of go to this like really high definition scene and it's crystal clear, and then you go back to the image that it kind of should be. And I'm not saying it's grainy or anything, but it's noticeable. The storyline really, now that you have the completion of the Avengers Infinity Stone storyline, the saga is complete, you really see where it gets set up. You really see how Red Skull becomes the Guardian of the Soul Stone. It's a really solid movie, and I think more people should watch this simply because of the theme and what it stands for. Like literally, the Doctor's dying breath. Just be good. He like when he's like,
Yeah.
I'll avenge you or whatever he says to the Doctor, he's like, no, just be a good man. Like you don't have to avenge me. Just be good. Be a good person. And I think that speaks volumes. For me, Captain America, the first, if you've known me for a long time, you know Captain America is my favorite Avenger anyway. But I'm gonna give this one a popcorn and one, just simply because the visual effects just weren't quite there. But it is a solid movie.
It is
Go
solid,
ahead, Jordan.
man.
This is I skipped this one like for a long time. Like I had seen all the other Avengers movies or the individual movies, and this one
Yeah.
I was really late to watch, and I don't know why, but I remember watching it and being a little underwhelmed by like the unfolding of the plot like late into the movie. I liked the origin story of like him, and although he looks freaking ridiculous when he's all skinny and scrawny and young
With the early deep fake technology.
yeah that was pretty crazy,
Like
but
Tron, Kurt Russell.
yeah, which is a movie I need to watch. Like I it's really been on the cusp. Anyways, I'm gonna get sidetracked. I'm gonna watch Tron soon, so get ready for Tron.
Tron
Ares.
remakes or sequels coming. We
Ares.
gotta catch up.
With the cult leader Jared Leto. In my in my rewatch, Jordan, what I will say is I feel like it starts off faster than I remember. Like I remembered it being a little slow too to get to it, but then when I rewatch, I was like, that's not so bad. Like maybe the expectations weren't there, or a lot of people I remember were like, hey, it's not that great, and it wasn't as good because it came out after Iron Man, remember? And I think it came out after a couple of them. So I think that just the expectations were just a little high for this one when it came out, not realizing it's an origin story.
Yeah,
And it did use a lot of old storytelling techniques. Because, I mean, it's the same guy who made Rocketeer. And it's essentially the same movie as The Rocketeer, which is 20 years older than that. So like it used old school superhero movie trope stuff and brought it to the new age. And I think it fit because of the setting, because of Captain America, all these things. It fit, and I think it was solid. But yeah, I see that it wasn't the new Iron Man style. So
I'm gonna like give a hot take here. The original of like core Avengers movies were kind of butt. Like I don't know, the Iron Man after the whole cave scene, like the opening scene, and he's in the cave and he builds the suit. Everything that comes after that, I feel like was kind of boring. I don't know, maybe I have to go back and watch it. Like the rest of the movie, the villain at the end was just like underwhelming and kind of like whatever. The original Thor was butt.
You think so?
I did not like that one at all. It's like the
Thor
whole
was
losing
really
his
bad.
power and shit, right?
Yeah.
And then like the main villain, there's not, I don't know. Yeah, it was crap. And we all know what happened with the Hulk. I mean, the Hulk, you know.
Edward Norton was apparently difficult to work with because I actually did not mind the Hulk with Edward Norton. Like I thought that was really good, and obviously it was good enough for them to bring back Abomination. You know?
Yeah.
Well, but they did abandon
a great villain in that.
They abandoned the idea of trying to create another Hulk solo film because they just, you know.
She-Hulk was really good. I thought it wasn't like amazing, but it was really good. And I think men really suck. I think dudes suck, and they really bleeped it up for the rest of us because they won't let us just enjoy movies if they have a female star.
Yeah,
it's the same assholes that say women aren't funny to comedians, and they sit there with their arms shrugged, like you're not gonna make me laugh. Like, ew.
It's the stupid. I still remember. I'm not going to put this person out because he's a good friend of mine. He's like, I'm listening to I think like Madonna or someone. And he's like, I don't listen to female musicians. And I was like, well, that's a stupid way to live.
Truly.
So I don't get that train of thought. I it's not even masculine to me. It's idiot. That's what gender that is.
That's the part of masculinity people call toxic masculinity. You know, it's not masculine. You're just an asshole.
Stupid, man. I don't know. Like, we can all agree when things are bad. Like, Marvel's not a great movie. Marvel's wasn't good. But we could also agree when things are really good. Like, Ms. Marvel was pretty good. She-Hulk was
the Marvels was bad. Sorry. The Marvels was bad. Sorry.
It was okay.
The Marvels.
Yeah. Immortals was a good movie.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Immortals was a good or The Eternals, sorry. The Eternals was a good movie.
It was mostly great. Mostly, it was great.
Yeah.
I want more. Quick side note, really quick, since we got a little bit of time, because I'm going to rattle one more, and then we're going to get to Jordan's review. In The Eternals, I had never been to a 4D movie before, and my really good friend, former co-host of The Sad Fam, was like, "You're in town tonight. We're all going to go see The Eternals. I got us 4D movie tickets." And I was like, cool, like not knowing what a 4D movie was. I'd worked all day long, right? Like all day, 7:30 to 5:30. And I'm like, okay, I got a glass of wine. I just wanted a glass of red wine to unwind. And I hadn't eaten. And I had nachos in the other hand. And
red wine and nachos?
Yes.
How old are you?
I hadn't eaten. No, it was the only thing the movie theater had. They didn't have hot dogs because I said, "Do you have hot dogs?" And she was like, "No, we got nachos." And I was like, "I need substance. I need some substance." So I'm sitting there with red wine and nachos, like a hillbilly millionaire. And the movie kicks off, and I'm like fucking Will Ferrell in the massage chair.
Whoa.
Yeah, you can't even put it in the fucking cup holder because the cup holder is going everywhere too. So it's like, oh my God.
Dude, I'm ready to, I've been telling everybody, like, I'm trying to find somebody to road trip with to go to Vegas to the Sphere and see The Wizard of Oz. Have you seen this?
Yeah. $100 tickets.
God. Oh my God. It looks so worth it. I wanted to see that so bad. Anyways.
I'm down.
So
well, I'm not going to go with you, but
I'm pushing back and forth, possibly going to Las Vegas in November for a football game. So we'll see how the job's going and what my time off looks like. But I'm floating it because the airline tickets are only like $400. So not bad for Germany. Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix. I was very excited about this because I was a little, like, I was around during it, but I was a little young to understand what was really going on. I think it was like 12, 13 years old, right? Like enough to be cognizant of it, but not really sorry, I need to stop the cursing. Not really understand what addiction looks like. Like understand that someone is going through addiction, but not like know what it looks like. And he, in the documentary, if you want to see what addiction looks like, watch this documentary.
He's going through addiction psychosis. Yeah.
Yo,
it blows my mind. Like when he's in the tiger, this is after you're 10 or 11. This is like more recent, but when he has that tiger blood interview, like how you gonna tell me that you are? How you gonna tell me you're sober right now, dog? Like listen to you.
The winning
you
tattoo,
are whacked out.
Winning. Like I totally forgot Charlie Sheen was HIV positive. I totally forgot that.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And then that comes out, and then he's like, they actually got people on. They didn't get Martin Sheen or Emilio Estevez, but they did get a lot of people. Who is his ex-wife from Starship Troopers?
Carmen Electra.
Denise Richards. They got Denise Richards in it. They got his most recent ex-wife, the dancer, that's also like an addict. And it's tough, but I really wanted to see it. The movie opens with Charlie Sheen at the peak of his powers, like late 80s, early 90s, and he's hammered drunk, and the French pilots allow him to pilot a passenger plane. And he's flying a passenger plane until the pilot realizes how hammered he is and flicks back on the autopilot. But he allowed Charlie Sheen to fly the plane for a certain amount of time with people in the plane. Heidi Fleiss, the madam, what an odd human. But she straight calls Charlie Sheen a daddy's boy bitch. And that is a direct quote from the movie. She calls him a daddy's boy bitch and calls him a coward for diming her out, saying they never had anything on him and he didn't have to dime her out. Nothing would have happened, but it's because he flips and says her name that she goes to jail for, I think, 7 years or 7 to 14 years. Yeah. So it was, I'm not going to tell you how they got caught, but it will remind you how long ago this was, even though it's only like 30 years ago, 20 to 30 years ago, but they're using a certain currency that gets them caught. And I'm just like, wow, that's nuts. I would have never thought to do something like that. What actually sobers him up is very interesting. Very, very, he wants to get sober the whole time, but he's an addict. Like the whole time he wants to be sober, but he goes through these lulls. And John Cryer, I think, explained it best. He's so hyper talented, but John Cryer's theory is he doesn't believe that he thinks he deserves this or deserves to be hyper talented. So he throws everything away, burns it all down to see if he can earn it all back. And he goes through these phases, these dips where it happens consistently. I learned that Martin Sheen has fake teeth. That was another thing I learned in this. Didn't know Martin Sheen had straight up fake teeth. Comes out when they're trying. Anyway, this is something, I don't care if I spoil it for you guys. It's a documentary. Watch it. It's about his life. But they got him the whole time he's trying to get sober. The only way they're able to get him off crack, the way they're finally able to get him off crack, is to give him less strong crack until he got bored of crack. That's how addicted he was like the dealer, and the dealer was like, no, this person was insane. They talk about the Nights of Charlie Sheen, about the most overloaded, Sean Penn's in it, about the most overloaded drug user they've ever seen. They're like, it's like he's immune to the effects that would cause a normal person to go down. They were like, some of them were like, I've never seen him throw up. They were like, cocaine typically has an effect on men where you have all the urge to get it going with a woman, but you don't have the ability. And they're like, he is what happens when that doesn't happen to you. He is what they're like, he can do all these drugs with none of the negative side effects. But I did think it was funny that they're like, yeah, the only way we can get him off was to basically lower the dose to a point where he wouldn't notice until he was bored and just wasn't getting any high from it any longer. So he just gave it up. And that's literally how it's explained.
That's my Charlie. I'm bored.
And that is how it's like, how he says it basically, because he's sitting in a diner. And he has a funny comment at the very beginning. He goes, you know why I love diners? You know exactly what you're going to get. If you come into a diner, you ask for a shrimp cocktail, get the fuck out. So It's interesting. You feel I feel bad for him, but I grew up on a lot of Charlie Sheen movies and Emilio Estevez movies and seeing Martin Sheen in movies. So I feel bad for him. I understand if people don't feel bad for him. You don't have to have empathy for him. Like, I get it if you come out of this not having empathy for him, but it is an interesting story from one of the most interesting lives we've ever seen lived, to be
Sure.
honest. Like, Charlie Sheen has had a life, no matter what you
He's had a
think
life.
of him.
For
So
sure.
I'm going to give this documentary, and it's because it's fully revealing to the point where I was like, wow, did not know that. Popcorn into it.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, what do we got left?
Jordan,
Yeah. All right.
go ahead with your documentary, sir.
I watched a Netflix true crime documentary that had been recommended to me a few times in a very short amount of, period. Like within a couple days, I had 3 different people recommend this to me. It is called Unknown Number: The High School Catfish. Okay. So a small town in Michigan is rocked by this scandal of a young couple. These 2 kids are like high school kids are suddenly targeted by hateful cyberbullying text messages, and it is constant, like all hours of the night, thousands of text messages being sent to them, kind of sexual nature towards the boy and very, very cruel towards the girl, saying the worst things you could say about a young teenage girl. Essentially trying to split them up. So then it's very small town. So like all the adults are involved, like all the adults are aware of what's going on. All of the kids know what's going on. And there's all these accusations being thrown around about who's doing it. They're trying to find out. They get the FBI involved. And I don't want to spoil it, although like this is being heavily memed and like discoursed on the internet. So if you are wanting to watch it and get the the full experience, like I would recommend getting on it quickly, but I do recommend watching this. Some of the things that the people say are just ridiculous. It's laughable how like naive some of the things that they say are in
you
this.
kind of like, how do you fall for this shit?
No, because it's
Okay.
like, no, it's just the way maybe it's trying to be set up to tell this narrative. It's just really dumb. Like it's just like, come on. Okay. Like this is for camera. A lot of these reactions and things are just for camera. Like the guy, the boy involved in this, one of the things he says is like in the beginning, he's like, how could I have known that having a phone could be the worst thing that ever happened to me? Like,
Look at your dad.
As a real person said that?
Yeah.
Sorry. Look at your dad. It really sucks when work can contact you 24 hours a day.
Yeah. But look, okay. I'm not gonna lie to you, because every time the text messages go through, they're being read, and it's like, I'm not gonna lie, some of the text messages are hilarious. They're just funny, like with the cyberbullying and stuff, and some of the things being said are so crude or just so out there. It's crazy. But the reveal is just, whoa, you are not expecting that at all. And what sucks is like you don't get a great explanation for it, because the person behind it is such a sociopath that they're just like, you hate them. Like you think you hate them when you find out. You hate them so much more as they try to explain their rationale and just everything that comes after. You're just like, what?
I
and
thought
there's
you
so
were a
many
dick
layers.
before, but then I realized you were a giant dick.
Yeah. There's just so much like it's an onion of just what a shitty person this is. It just layer after layer after layer keeps peeling off. Like, oh my god, you're a monster. It's good. It's very worth the watch. Actually, I mean, no, it's the writing and everything is stupid, but like this story is something that's just insane. I give it a popcorn and 1. I give this a popcorn and 1. Yeah.
Popcorn 1.
Popcorn and 1. Well, Jordan, I watched a movie that I was like, oh, maybe you just didn't get it because you said it wasn't funny. You said it was bad. You said it wasn't a good movie. You were hoping it was going to be good. I watched Friendship. starring Tim Robinson, Kate Mara, and Paul Rudd. Jordan, you weren't wrong. You did get it. It was just bad. It just wasn't a good movie, and it
I don't
made me
believe
very
you. I don't believe
sad.
either one of you.
It
I
made
don't
me
believe
very
either one of
sad
you.
because it does have a couple lines at the beginning that make you laugh, like right at the beginning, and then after the first 15 minutes, you're like, dude, what?
Yeah.
Come on, this is
It's
so
just a fever dream. Yeah.
it's
I don't know, man.
just
I saw the extended cut of the garage scene where he's behind the drum set. I couldn't stop laughing at that.
Yeah, it's
So-
funny like in clips. It's funny in clips, I think,
Yeah.
but like when it's all put together, it's very it's draining. It's very
Okay.
like
in my
It's
review,
bozo
I literally
over.
put, this is why I think you should leave skits are only 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
That's what I put. Because it's like an extended, I think you should leave skit. And eventually it's just like, it wears on you. Like the act wears on you. Like, okay, like
Yeah.
enough. Like, or do something else or have it. It's this, you're playing the same person. Like it's your character from I Think You Should Leave. It's literally the exact character the whole way through. And even like Paul Rudd, like he does his best in certain scenes to kind of save it, but he can't save it. Kate Mara, you just hate her. You just think she's a terrible
Yeah.
person throughout. She's like, you're just a bad. From the moment you meet Kate Mara, who plays his wife, you're like, you're just a bad person. I just don't like you.
And it's so unbelievable, like, why that them two would be married in the first place. Like, this guy just turned into this freaking raging weirdo. Like,
yeah. Why do you think they keep calling it a Marvel, by the way? Do you think they couldn't get, like, the rights to say the title of the film? Or do you think they were just trying to be funny?
just trying
Yeah,
to
I
be
think
funny
they're
and weird.
just trying to be funny. I call him a Marvel sometimes.
Because the other there's a garage scene where the other actors just start yelling out Marvel characters. I said no spoilers. This is a garage with no spoilers. You have to get out. And all he did was like say a character. He's like the Hulk.
Yeah.
So it's like just I think you should leave. Just leave it at 5-minute increments. Like play
I
a
don't know.
song in between every scene. So I think something new is happening. But without
I still don't
it,
believe you. I'm gonna watch
it's
it.
just
Maybe.
and then the end
this
was
week.
just not funny, if you will. It
I
was
like
just
the
like,
drug
"That's
trip.
just not funny.
The drug trip was
it's
one of the
really sad because I
favorites.
really had high expectations, especially when I sat down and watched. I was like, oh, I could really use a comedy. I can't wait to laugh. I laughed for about 10 minutes and I didn't laugh again. I was like, this is stupid. So a popcorn for me from Friendship.
All right.
Finally, the last movie here that I watched was called Tusk. Have you guys heard of Tusk?
Ew.
Ew.
Yes.
You have.
We've heard
Okay.
Why did you watch this?
So
I wanna know
you've
your
never
motivations.
seen it.
I've heard of
Jordan.
it like I've heard of smallpox. Like I know what it was and the symptoms are, but I don't want to see pictures of it.
Okay, so neither one of you have seen it. Okay, so here's the thing. I've heard about this quite a bit, and I've even seen Kevin Smith talk for about 10 minutes about Tusk. So I was kind of like, you know what? I'm interested. Let me watch Tusk and see. I know the premise. So what do you guys know about Tusk?
I know it's a mad scientist drugs a kid into turning into a walrus through multiple surgeries, and it's just body horror and dark comedy, I'm told. And I've seen clips on YouTube, and every clip I've seen, I'm like, what? Why did we make this? Why are we
Yeah.
allowed to make a movie like this?
Jordan?
You shouldn't be
Pretty
allowed
much.
to make a movie like this.
Same. Yeah, I've just seen images of it and I've heard the premise of it, and it's very like Human Centipede.
Okay. So you don't, it's not graphic. That's what I'll tell you guys. It's not super graphic. You don't, it's not, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe I saw that, like Human Centipede where they sew mouths to buttholes. Like it's not that, but it is silly. And there's a French detective character in it that's very funny, but very serious. So it is like shock comedy, a little bit of horror mixed in, but it's about a traveling podcaster played by Justin Long who ends up in Canada and doesn't get the story he went to Canada for. But he's just a deplorable human being. Like, you don't root for him at all. You're not hoping everything's okay. He's awful. It also stars Haley Joel Osment, who is like the better half of this character. In fact, goes off to rescue him. But yes, the premise is eventually this person, the goal is to have him turned into a walrus by this psychomaniac. And it is not believable at all. It is gross in the sense that, like, you have to watch this person like degrade themselves into becoming a walrus, like eating mackerel, like raw mackerel and things like that. Like, you don't see though the surgery that causes it or anything like that. It's just like one day he has a body and the next day he's a walrus, and all you see of him becoming a walrus is like you see him being operated on, like the surgeon is leaning over him operating on him, and that's it. And then all of a sudden he's a walrus, and it's just it's written by Kevin Smith. It was interesting. It is a popcorn, but I think if you just like, let me see what this is about, because that's why I flipped this. I was like, let me see what Tusk is about. Let me flip it on and see what this is. It's worth it. Like, it is worth it just to be like, just so you could sit back in your chair and you can be like, what the fuck?
No. Wrong.
So I'm gonna give Tusk by Kevin Smith a popcorn. Now, Jordan, let's get to our butter on top before Josh gets too furious with me for watching a film that now exists within our zeitgeist.
Yeah. So we've got a few solid movies dropping into theaters this weekend, but the one that we are going to go with, I'd say fits, football season is upon us. Football season is upon us, and spooky season is almost upon us. I'd say we're pre-spooky season right now. We're going to go with Jordan Peele produced Him.
Yeah.
Him.
Uh-oh. You know what this kind of reminds me of a little bit? You remember the trailer for The Faculty with like Usher, where they're the football players?
That was like it's on my list of potential classics, but like, have we already watched this? No, I don't know.
Someone watched The Faculty.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Whatever.
I wouldn't mind it, but yeah, no, that's what it reminds me of. Okay, so I promised you guys we did the 80s. It was Dead Poet Society, and then I gave you guys another Oscar with Taxi Driver. So now I'm gonna switch it up on you, and I'm gonna give you guys 1999's Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai, starring Forrest Whitaker.
Okay, I've always wanted to see this.
What?
Well,
what is it?
He has a sword. That's all I know.
It is a
all
movie.
I know is Forrest Whitaker has a samurai sword.
Okay, you know what? Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that for the audience. For Jordan, did you just say, how did I miss this?
No, I said, what the hell is this?
Oh.
What the hell is even that? Yeah, I can't wait. I've seen this, like, I remember seeing this in the Blockbuster, and like, I gotta watch that sometime. I've never seen it.
It's one of those that I remember I was at a friend's house, and that's how I watched it, was his parents were watching Ghost Dog. We were all eating at the table, like all the kids are eating at the table. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, is that a samurai? Is that, So it was one of those movies where they had to just play it on the DVD or VCR or whatever existed back then. So we're gonna watch Ghost Dog this week on Popcorn and Beers, our drunk classic. Jordan, you want to add anything?
Try to support a local small chain theater if you can.
Absolutely. And wearing the shirt of the guy that's out for the next 4 weeks. But we are not out for the next 4 weeks. We will see you next week. And hopefully before that, we see you at the theater. You bring the popcorn and we got the beer.